In the beginning, the scene shifts to Venice, and there was an auction going on here where all the rich people of the city participated. A lot of people come and wear their masks and sit in this auction. We can also see the lead actor Cyrus in this story, who had again planned a new robbery. Well, this auction was happening in Venice, but its live streaming was happening in London too. That means some buyers were sitting here in Venice and some buyers were sitting in London. Along with this, we can also see Cyrus's team who had Denton, Camilla, Magnus, Myson, Luke, and even Mastermind Cyrus. There were many cameras in this auction which were being monitored by the police. There is another officer among these police officers whose name is Gladwood. His nickname is Abby, and he had met Cyrus before and was on a special mission to catch him. But Cyrus was very cunning and he had escaped his eyes. But this time Abby was ready with her team to catch Cyrus red-handed as soon as he steals. And with this, the auction begins, in which a painting called Vancouver comes on the first number. It was very expensive. Everyone starts putting their name on it. And at the end, that painting is sold for 2 crores. But these thieves were in the open because Magnus had already stolen that auction painting before it reached the customer. And in the black market, he had also sold it for the same price, that is 2 crores on the spot, after which it's time for the most special and expensive painting of this auction. Basically, it was a creation made by a creator named Annette. He didn't want to reveal his identity, so he wore a mask on his face. This mask will remind you of a Squid Game somewhere. Now this was the special product of Annette. It was named NFT. It has nearly 200 cameras that capture live action and create an AI-generated portrait. Then its auction starts. With the money increasing, it is 2.5 crores and 2.5 crores. That's when Myson had already planned and she says, "Lift." And with her words, the lights there are off, there are explosions, the whole place is in chaos. All the rich people sitting in the auction think of running away from there and here. Cyrus does his job. Basically, the 2.5 crore that was put in by Cyrus, and now because of the money, he tells Annette to call her to his yard and says that the painting will be taken there. That is your creation, and with that we will give you your amount there. But the sitting Abby was watching all this, and this time she wanted to hold Cyrus red-handed, and she didn't want to let him run away from there, so she puts all her police officers behind her. After which in Venice, there is a chase sequence, sometimes running, sometimes on the roadside, sometimes in the river. They also have a speedboat, and they make the police stand the barriers one by one, and these policemen get stuck on the road. Then the scene shifts to the private yacht, and these people party all night after the money is taken. Meanwhile, Abby continues her investigation, and she sees everyone sitting in the auction. Then she sees Denton. Cyrus was a member of the team, so they somehow reach him. On the other hand, the real truth of these thieves comes in front of us. Basically, when they stole this special creation NFT, then its prices increased in the black market. It reached 3, 4 crores, 4, 5 crores, and then 8 crores. But to activate it, its owner had to be there. And the 2 crores that they had transferred to Annette, they had transferred it by selling the old Vancouver painting. Along with this, Cyrus also tells him that because of the theft of this painting, it was sold for 2.5 crores, but today its price is going up from 8 crores. You are thinking that we acquired you, but we will share half of the money that has increased in the black market. So you will get profit and we will get profit too. So there is nothing to worry about, party hard. Meanwhile, we see Denton, who is sitting in front of Abby right now. Abby's questions were giving the opposite answers. Abby says in anger that we will put you in jail and your Vancouver prank will be exposed to the public. So it would be better to give us all the information about your team, on which Denton says that at the moment, Cyrus and his team is in London. If you want to catch him, then you have to come with me till there. After this news, Abby reaches Interpol. If you look at it, it's the CBI or Police Investigation Department of London, where he meets another officer named Huxley. He says that, recently I have found out from the secret sources that the biggest mafia in the city is Jorgen Lars, who shook the entire share market, took big trades, and with this he got a lot of profit from high stocks. But the reason for this profit was not that he came to the market, but he came to the city The dam water spread in the city, the whole flood came there. People died. And this time, same to same, he is going to do with another city in which there is another big mafia called Leviathan. I have been behind Lars for many years. That's why I left my special man, whose name is Digger, in his team. And I got to know from him that in the next 2 months, he is going to do this work and Leviathan will get a payment in gold. Meaning gold, and that too not small. 1, 2 kilos, 10 tons. I need you to stop this payment. So Abby says, what can I do about it? Only the police can do this. Where Hexley said that the police don't have the brain to think like thieves and catch those thieves. For this, a special thief will be needed. And you know who that special thief is? Where Abby says no, like you're thinking that I'll go to Cyrus, ask for help from him, and he'll also say yes for this work. So, where Hexley explains that if Cyrus and his team didn't agree for this deal, then many innocent people will die. We have to stop Lars, who is going to pay his payment to Leviathan in gold, and catch him red-handed. And from here, the story begins. Abby reaches Cyrus and tells that once in Paris, there was a romance going on for 5 days, where Cyrus says that it was not 5 days but 7 days, and we were in love with each other to the limit. You cheated me, where Abby says that you were on the mission of stealing and I was on the mission of catching you from the police. So the love between us was not love. It was just a show, but Cyrus, a lover, a man, says that whatever happened, tell me the reason for coming here, on which Abby says that you have to steal for me. And all the details that Hexley gave him, Abby gives them to Cyrus and tells him that you have to steal the gold. Then the next day, Cyrus goes to his team and makes this proposal and tells them that this work is difficult, but it is necessary, because if this payment is done, Leviathan will remove the dam barriers, then the whole city will be in the flood, and many innocent people will die. So here the team members start taking out all the details one by one. How will their payment be? First of all, gold will come out from Lars's den, then it will be loaded in a truck. Then it will be loaded in a plane named Sky Cruise, and before reaching the destination of that plane, we have to steal that gold coat. Now this work was difficult because their own goons were also present in the plane, and on top of that, Sky Cruise was being tracked, that too through the big city officers. So now everyone joins in their work on how these people will reach it. After which Misson tells that if we make a plane that looks like that, which gives the same rating on the radar signal, that is, it should look like the Boeing 380, so it will be easier to steal this gold. But where should we get such a plane from? Where Cyrus tells us that in that auction, there was a rich man named Molson who had not exactly as it is, but a plane that looks a little bit like him. Who knows, he might help us in this work, after which he reaches Molson, who shows his fancy plane which was forbidden to fly in the city because there were LED glasses on the top and bottom of the plane, and the exhaust was so loud that they were banned. For example, you can understand them in the comparison of superbikes on the road. When police officers see a superbike, they stop it and ask if its exhaust was installed aftermarket. So there were some such things here too. Anyway, first of all, Molson's forbids them to give their plane. Jaya also says that keeping this plane is illegal. If you don't listen to us, you'll be caught by the police. After that, he starts telling his plane special things, that they can do pole dance in this plane. They can send a message through LED. This plane is the fastest plane ever. I mean, not according to the fight, but according to the business trips. Anyway, the plane was found, and after that, the next challenge was to somehow make the radar system a fool, and for that they had to create PSI, which means Portable Signal Interface, whose job was to provide only one signal, despite of having 2 planes in the sky. But the problem was that when these 2 planes would be in front of each other, and when connectivity would be set, then 2 planes would be shown in the headquarters. So that's why there was it is important to have a special person's son, where Abby tells him that he knows a person in Brussels whose name is Harry. He can help us in this work, but he is a very naughty and spoiled type of person, where Cyrus says that, let's talk and see. After which they reach Brussels and meet Harry. Basically, he is handicapped and he refuses to do this work because there was a stolen hunter in it. And the enemy they were going to steal was the biggest mafia in the city, Jorgen's Lars. So Harry gets tickled as soon as he hears it, and he clearly denies it for this work, where Cyrus says that he will give you 10 lakhs in return for this work. With this, the deal is finalized and the whole team gets to work, after which the whole plane is made over to make it look like another plane, and then the PSI is made, which is portable signal interface, but it looked like a bomb. So Abby says that if its parts are divided into small pieces and later assembled in the plane, then the work will be easy. On which Mison says that okay, I will do this work. And then after a lot of hard work, after getting to know the people, now it's time for the final day. Everyone was ready in their own get-up. Now with this, I forgot to tell you one thing. The Camilla here that is from Money Heist to Tokyo. If you haven't seen Money Heist, then I would seriously recommend you to go and see it. After that, we also explained its new version, that is Money Heist Korea. And recently, the Berlin series had also started on Netflix. Work is also going on that, which you will get in the next 2-3 days. Okay, so coming back to the main story again. Here, these people had booked their tickets for some economy and some business, where after reaching they come to know that here, Lars had sent his goons, 2 in business class and 3 in economy class. Along with this, in the lowest portion, 10 tons of gold was going. After which, it's time for one of the best parts of the story where everyone was active and ready to take the risk of stealing. Miso had hacked all the access cameras so that the future progress could be seen. Magnus, on the other hand, and put half of the PSI parts in the washroom. Meanwhile, Cyrus finds out that one of his men, Luke, didn't board the plane. When Cyrus calls him, Luke says that there is a lot of jokum in this job and that he won't be able to do it. Where Abby says that no problem, we have reached this point, we won't go without doing this job. So Abby takes care of the rest of the work, and the half of the parts that were kept in the economic class washroom, she takes them to her in the business class washroom and started assembling the PSI. But due to turbulence on the way, the machine falls and breaks, meaning they are screwed. It takes a while. In fact, the goons also wanted to use the washroom. If they had come and seen the PSI machine, they would have shot everyone. The whole plan would have been ruined. But then Cyrus arrives at the right time, and both of them together start repairing the PSI machine. In between, the goons come and tell them to come out, where they pretend to have sex in the washroom. They make a lot of funny sounds. In between, our Camilla had reached Tokyo. She was waiting for the PSI to be activated under the Boeing 380. On the other side, there was a signal of 2 big planes in the headquarters, where Harry's colleague comes and tells him that we should give this information to the superintendent, where Harry says that this will be a normal glitch and will be fixed in a couple of minutes. The matter was getting out of hand, where Harry says that you always keep on scolding me and taking advantage of my handicap, and you want to be superior to me, so I won't do this job anymore and will leave. Anyway, it was just his plan to confuse things, and in this, he becomes ready as a PSI, gets the signal, Tokyo connects his plane with the Boeing 380, and now only one plane is visible on the radar. After which, the most exciting part of this movie starts. Magnus reaches the bottom of the safe segment, and here he tries to break the lock with his hyper-technology machines so that all the gold can be taken out of the safe and brought in. But in the meantime, the goons are suspicious and they try to reach their sleep. Now Magnus was breaking the lock and the goons were reaching him. So Cyrus has to stop them. And now comes one of the best fight of this movie, where in the moving plane, the red noses, the slaps start to fall. There are the pilots in the cockpit who feel that something is definitely wrong in the plane, so that's why he contacts and tells that there is too much turbulence ahead, the weather is not clear, so you have to land this plane at the nearby airhold. So, after listening to Harry, the pilot tries to land the plane on a nearby Hawaii Adair, but the area was too small, meaning there was no proper runway to land a plane. But he puts his full effort into saving all the civilians and getting the plane landed safely. In this work, although he succeeds, after which Tokyo also puts full effort into getting the plane landed in that small runway. But now this thing had reached Lars as well. His plane, in which gold was filled, land on the other airfield. He tells his people that whoever has stopped my gold from reaching me, finish him off there, bring him to me. Meanwhile, Magnus apologizes to Cyrus that he couldn't steal the gold on time, and now all this gold will be taken from these goons and they will end their deal. Anyway, they had no other option. All these goons, sitting with Tokyo in his plane, now start going to Europe to Lars to deliver the gold. Meanwhile, Leviathan also reaches near Lars, who was going to bring a flood in the city in exchange for the gold, which would increase the rate of stocks and both of them would benefit. But Leviathan also got the news that the plane in which he was going to get the gold has been hijacked, where Lars tells that the whole situation is under control. Your goods will reach you. We have to finalize this deal today anyhow. Meanwhile, there are a lot of fights in the plane too. Now, the PSI was also broken, so the Tokyo plane was seen on the radar system. So the government planes were going to attack it. But then Cyrus and Tokyo's mind went, they turned the plane upside down and right below, there are civilians in this plane, do not attack. Because of this, the fighter jets also do not attack them at that time and start following them while tracking them, so that wherever this plane lands, the police can reach there and crush them. And now the plane reaches the big fort of Lars just below the palace. The garden wardens are destroyed. In fact, the security wall of the main wall is also broken, and 10 tons of gold falls from the plane, on which Leviathan says that now I will take this gold too. And on top of that, the deal between you and me is also over, on which Lars gets angry and he shoots Leviathan there. The police who was tracking him had reached there and they were going to catch Lars, but Lars says that this is my private property and these thieves were going to deal with Leviathan, so these people are the real culprits and they killed Leviathan, so you take them and vacate my property as soon as possible. But then Cyrus comes to his senses and in the plane, which is upside down, big LED was on. In fact, the many cameras of the NFT were on that plane. With the help of that, video footage is shown to the police that the real mafia was Lassie, who had made a deal with Leviathan and was planning to sink the entire city. Anyway, Interpol was also involved in this work. That is Abby and Hexley, whose purpose was to stop this deal and to take the gold that was being distributed in the illegal way. So the police comes and takes all the gold, and these thieves don't get anything. But with this, the truth of Hexley also comes out in front of Abby. Basically, she had told the fighter jets in the sky to destroy these hooligans' plane. But Toki and Cyrus's mind saved them because they had written the plane upside down that there are civilians in it. When the truth came out to Abby, she decided to leave the police department. Anyway, she had joined Cyrus's team. Along with this, we know a backstory when she was a little girl. So, in a big art gallery, someone gifted a good painting to Abby's mom, who was a teacher in a school. But some goons stole that painting. Despite searching a lot, neither did they find the goons nor the painting. As Cyrus says, some time ago, I bought that painting in double the price. Maybe you'll get impressed by it and their love story gets created. And then comes the mind-bending plot of this movie, where we see that Magnus replaced the real gold with fake gold when he broke the lock. That means the gold that the police got was just made of iron, and the real gold was made from the sky. And today they came to take that gold from the sea. And with this story ends here. I hope, guys, that you liked this video or explanation. And if you want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. The list of audits, which I have been running for the last 3 years, I bring about 10 videos every 2-3 months. There are only 5 videos left, 5 more to come, which include different genres like suspense, thrill, action, superhero, comedy, romance, horror. So wait for them a little bit. Till then, keep watching and stay safe. See you in the next video.